Well, we back on P. Diddy. It is some news. It is some news. And it kind of shocked me because I wasn't prepared for it, but this going to be a brief video and then we're going to do a recap. But, oh, wait a minute. P. Diddy's lead prosecutor filed suit against Trump's DOA Department of Justice over firing Marie Comey. Marie Comey is the daughter of James Comey, who started the whole Russiagate mess that turned out to be a hoax during Trump's first term. So, a federal jury acquitted Sean Diddy Combs of the most serious charges in his high profile trial, though he still faces sentencing on lesser prostitution related conviction. The verdict marked a turning point in the case that riveted both music industry and legal community. At the same time, the government's lead prosecutor, Maureen Comey, is contesting her abrupt removal from the case, alleging her dismissal was unlawful and politically motivated. You lost the case. You never had a case. Comey, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, ranks among the Justice Department's most accomplished trial lawyer. Her attorneys contend that officials target her because of her father's clashes with President Donald Trump. In a filing obtained by Billboard, her team wrote the politically motivated attorney of Ms. Comey upends bedrock principles of our democracy and judicial system. They maintain that the federal prosecutors must be able to serve without partisan pressure. Her lawyers in Comey pressed Manhattan U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton for answers. However, his response offered little clarity. According to their account, Clayton told her the order came from Washington without further explanation. This remark has only intensified concerns about the political interference in high-profile prosecutions, including P. Diddy. The trial, which ran more than 7 weeks, oh shoot, produced a mixed outcome. Diddy was acquitted of sex charge. Well, we know all that. He's scheduled to return to court October 3rd. Comey's career includes prosecuting Giselle Maxwell, 2021, which resulted in a 20-year sentence. Her removal from the Diddy case has stirred debate over whether political dynamics are shaping the Justice Department. No, you lost the case. You brought a case. You didn't have a case. As Diddy awaits sentencing, scrutiny now shifts toward the fallout of Comey's firing. The controversy has widened the conversation between one defendant's verdict. It raises sharper questions about prosecutor independence and the resilience of the judicial system under political strain, with Diddy's case at the forefront. Oh, that's some Diddy news. Mm. And he gonna be fighting this case for a minute. Sean Diddy Combs accuser Sarah Rivers appeals dismissal of RICO and SA lawsuit. Wow. This is Sarah Rivers from Making the Band. So Sarah Rivers, the Making the Band, two contestants who sued Sean Combs in a 60 million racketeering and SA lawsuit in February, is appealing a judge's recent ruling that permanently dismissed all but one of her claims. In a new federal court filing obtained by Rolling Stone, Rivers says she is going to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals in a bid to overturn the lower court's judge's August 14 dismissal decision. The new filing does not give the basis for the planned appeal. That means they probably gonna dismiss it. But lists Combs, Bad Boy Entertainment, Janice Combs, Universal Music, Viacom, and MTV Productions among the defendants placed on notice. In his ruling last month, U.S. District Judge Jed Racker dismissed finally and with prejudice 21 of the 22 causes of action in Rivers' lengthy lawsuit. That means they cannot be filed again. Judge Rutgers said he was holding off on deciding the final fate of the last remaining case of action, Count 15, in a 148-page lawsuit to wait for an appeals court decision on whether the claimed revival window created under New York City Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act was legally allowed to remain open after New York Adult Survivors Act. Rivers alleged in her lawsuit that Combs stroked her breast, subjected her to SA during production of the hit MTV reality show, which started filming in 2002. Rivers alleged that Combs cornered and SA'd her at his recording studio, then blackballed her in the music industry when she rebuffed his advances. Combs, 58, and several of his co-defendants challenged the lawsuit as well being beyond the statute of limitations. It really is beyond. Rivers' first cause of action alleged a racketeer conspiracy involving all named defendants. From the outset, we have said these claims were meritless, time-barred, and legally deficient. The court agreed, following no legal basis allowed them to proceed. So that's one thing. Honey, he got lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. Then Mark Ronson recalls feeling deeply unnerved by Sean Diddy Combs decades before the horrific allegations. For all the years I played for Puff, he probably spoke 5 cents to me, but even to me, the DJ, he emitted a chaotic energy that left me both starstruck and deeply unnerved. Ronson writes in his new memoir, Night People. Ronson 50 says it became abundantly clear to him in the mid 1990s that Diddy 55 wielded a tremendous amount of power and cachet on Manhattan club scene. He made people's careers. Playing gigs for him certainly helped mine, and his disapproval meant a certain kind of exile. He took over downtown and then the Hamptons until the whole city seemed to revolve around him and his parties. I'm sure he thought I was a great DJ, but on his mission to shake up New York society, it didn't hurt to have a fresh faced white kid from a nice family in the booth. When I got booked to play his parties, I looked to the VIP area and see people like Muhammad Ali, Martha Stewart, Denzel Washington, and the Duchess of War all mingling. He notes back then the only controversy surrounding Puff was around music. But nearly 3 decades later, horrific allegations came out. Yeah, I'm not going to recount all that. We know all that. So they set a hearing for Sean Diddy's quest for acquittal or new trial. A court hearing set up for hip hop mogul attorneys to argue for his acquittal on the two prostitution related charges. U.S. District Court Judge Samaranian presided over the 55-year-old music trial, has scheduled a September 25th hearing in Manhattan on the motion Combs' attorneys filed. So either they want a dismissal or they want a retrial on the two charges. Federal prosecutors have countered that Combs doesn't deserve a new trial or acquittal because there was more than sufficient basis to support his conviction. A federal jury acquitted him, we know that. The court hearing on Combs' request will come a week before his scheduled October 3rd sentencing. Hey, so that's some new news. So they saying he don't deserve a new trial. So now we just gonna get into these videos and then I'm done. I was gonna try to go back. I'm done after this. Okay, here we go. Diddy scores
In a major legal victory, Sean Diddy Combs celebrated a significant win as a judge dismissed 5 of the 9 sexual assault allegations made by Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod. The dismissed claims encompass serious charges, including RICO violations, emotional distress, breach of contract, and even a violation under the Trafficking Victims Protection Act against Combs Global. Courtroom tension peaked when the judge sternly reprimanded Jones' attorney, Tyrone A. Blackburn, for what was deemed substandard legal filings. The judge underscored Diddy's presumption of innocence, especially in light of pending grand jury indictments related to separate criminal charges. The origins of the case trace back to February 2024 when Jones accused Diddy of engaging in sexual misconduct, including unwanted advances and coercion. Diddy's legal team quickly refuted the allegations, dismissing them as imprecise and more focused on attracting media attention than on factual substance. Attorney Erica A. Wolf argued that the allegations did not meet federal pleading standards, hinting that the lawsuit was less about justice and more about a strategic money grab.
Facts.
Despite the dismissal of several charges, some serious allegations of sexual assault remain active as the case moves into its next phase of legal discovery. As both sides brace for a lengthy legal battle, all eyes are on the courtroom, with this high-profile case continuing to captivate public and media attention. Made by Rod.
Oh, shoot, yes. So he got a lot of that dismissed.
Sean Diddy Combs is set to appear in court today for an arraignment on new sex trafficking charges. The rap mogul was charged with trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution earlier this month. Authorities say these actions allegedly took place between 2021 and 2024. Combs is now facing a total of 5 federal charges. He's already pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering conspiracy and transportation to engage in prostitution related to 3 victims. His trial is scheduled for early May.
So we do that.
Rodney Jones, also known.
And we are live. Gabrielle.
This is Play with Matches.
This is the best stuff on earth. This is the coffee flavor. It comes in water.
Okay, you might be 30, but you're losing.
She's not in her shoes, which I would never be.
That's not what I meant. Oh, what? So you're acting on all my videos?
Yes, clearly.
You're a retribution.
Okay, I don't even want to hear this video, so we're going to go ahead and delete that. Diddy and his son Justin accused him shooting of a musician. Let me see. Let me go past this.
Talking about right now. So, according to these reports, you guys are all watching this and all seeing what's going on here and tapped into this situation. It says the LAPD report shows cops did not question Sean Diddy Combs after the 2022 shooting. Now it says an 18. Y'all read it. Says producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones says that he was 2 feet from behind from a closed bathroom door inside Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles music studio when shots rang out September the 12th, 2022. Let me read that line again. It says producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr. says he was 2 feet from a closed bathroom door inside Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles music studio when shots rang out on September the 12th, 2022. When the door opened, Diddy and his son Justin Dior Combs allegedly walked out, leaving a third man bleeding on the floor in a fetal position
Wow.
gunshot wounds. It goes on to say that Rodney Jones says he rushed in, put pressure on a wound to the victim's torso, and lifted him onto the toilet seat, instructing an assembled crowd to call 911. He then carried the victim, a musician, nicknamed G, to the front of the Charlotte's recording studios to await the ambulance. Jones' lawsuit claims the man survived. Photos were included in Rodney Jones' lawsuit, and they show blood dripping from the toilet seat down the side of the bowl, more blood on the floor, clothing strewn on and near the toilet, and stained and
Wow.
paper towels. Jones also says he still has the clothing he was wearing that day, which may still have the victim's DNA on it. But an 18-page Los Angeles Police Department report of the shooting, exclusively obtained by USA Today, makes no mention of this bloody scene. In fact, it shows that the police focused their efforts on an altercation outside of the studio. The report paints a far different picture from the one described
And
in
see,
Jones' lawsuit.
that's why, and I'm
That
not even
raises
going to go
questions.
no further. That's why, oh, shoot. The judge dismissed the case, half of his case, except for the essay part. This is the surprise witness.
Typos for all the things you do, especially the PowerPoints. Thank you so much. This is like my first foray into the PowerPoint. Rushed. I felt that was a little bit rushed. I felt that was a little bit rash. I think my lights are doing. That's offered up just for the sole purpose of making it look like the defendant has the propensity to do something. Like, oh, he was no good XYZ in the past, and now he is.
Okay, I'm not even going to play that. We're going to delete that. Then we know Young Thug's lawyer Brian Steele got on the case. I'm not going to play that. We know that. Delete that. Let me see what this one is.
Who came and ran, nigga? You just was only fucking.
This is In the Trenches podcast.
No, what did you just say? What did you just say? Who ran that crib? No, you said they let a who out on $10 million bond? A white man. Right. Yeah. Who ran the Diddy crib? Right. The feds. The homeland security. Is they worse than the feds? Hell yeah. They them guys. What they come for? And they found what? They found baby oil and guns and some dope in his hotel room when they raided. Not in his house. So the guns and the dope is enough without sex trafficking. But not no whole bunch of years though, because Diddy ain't no family. Come on, man. Could y'all listen? Could y'all and dope? What's somebody listening to this? Guns and dope. Why would Homeland Security do that? Why would Homeland Security?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Hey, we still talking loud and y'all can vote loud nuts. We trying to get loud, but damn, we trying to get some money. We did ask y'all to whisper though. Y'all was doing good at first. You sitting there talking to man, you supposed to be engaged in this shit. This shit crazy. You supposed to be engaged in this. Y'all let me in. And he different when you always chime in. You always chime in. You supposed to be telling me. And I needed you. And I needed you. You supposed to be over there. They trying to go. You supposed to be crowd control. From them. You supposed to be crowd control. You just letting them control him. Yeah, it'll be like that. When the Don JT ain't saying, I'm having my baby. God damn. JT ain't said nothing too much. It's really Nisha for real. I don't know why she's talking about
my fucking name on your podcast?
They don't know Nisha. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, get at her.
And you ain't the only Nisha in the world.
I'm not, but I was having a conversation with her.
She was loud. I know everything. You is loud. You was doing good at first. You're loud. No, you're loud. Yeah, you really is loud. You don't know how to have a... She was drinking. What did I say? She blew some focus on.
Why did Homeland Security come raid this man?
She off on them jiggers.
Jack.
That's why.
Homeland Security. Okay. Shut the fuck
We
up.
doing a lot of shit on camera. We doing a lot of shit on camera we ain't supposed
We
to
all
do.
went upstairs. It was perfect.
I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, before that, when they got a skit out, that was a skit. That was a skit. No, we ain't.
Hey, Blue. Jack. Why Homeland Security raid this man house? They got shit.
No, I'm gonna tell you where this shit stem from. This shit stems from. This shit stems from gas.
Homeland Security.
This shit stems. Let me tell you. Let me break this shit down
You know
real
what?
quick.
Cause you know what? This is what Homeland Security
Shit,
raid
don't
this
let me
house.
break it down.
I know. I'm waiting on you to ask me a question. What is Homeland Security for? Homeland Security. Listen.
That's the same thing I said.
Why y'all don't go outside?
No, we need you real quick. Sit down. Cause let them go outside.
Y'all said a man did that. It's gonna be loud outside.
I don't know what Cheerio is. Hey, listen, Homeland Security raided his crib because he was trafficking bitches across state lines. And that's sex trafficking.
You doing too
Because he was
much.
trafficking the bitches across lines, having them commit sexual activity with
You
people.
gotta break it down.
Saying for them to have sex with. P. Diddy's a pimp.
Relax. Move
He's a
aside.
Hollywood
It's
entertainment
okay.
pimp on a high level.
Okay. You ain't seen niggas in the middle.
Allegedly.
Not me for sure.
I'm telling you what I think. I'm not snitching.
Just relax,
Hey,
bro.
damn.
Look, bro, just relax. Just relax. Break it down.
Please. God damn. Boo-boo. Boo-boo. Bye.
Just don't slam the door when you go out.
Boo-boo.
So this is Cassie after the trial. Well, not after, because she was pregnant. When they was together, I meant to say. She is a pretty girl. She is a pretty girl. Oh, yeah, this is what I want to get into. Now, this I'll be sure.
Detroit, Michigan.
This is viral hip hop.
Go all the way down. That's right. The cryptic things toward Diddy and what happened to Kim Porter. And I reported it, right? I talked about it. Right. Kim Porter, I'll be sure they had a son together. Quincy goes by Quincy Combs, by the way. It's very interesting, but we'll get back to that. Reported it, and then a day later, on his Instagram, he wrote out this long, drawn-out thing. And I'm not saying he watched my stuff. There's plenty of people that did the report, right? Anyway, all the media, watch how the media steers things. You can never believe it. It was taken out of context. Me and Diddy are cool. We raised a son. Bourgeoisie, blah, blah, blah. And now, all of a sudden, when this man is in the fight for his life, and it's definitely a fight, there's some serious shit going on. Here comes I'll Be Sure, who obviously still harbors some feelings about the late Kim Porter and Diddy situation. And now all of a sudden, it wasn't your medical situation. It wasn't your unfortunate circumstances that happened to your health that put you in a coma. Thank God you came out of it, because on a personal note, don't nobody want to see you die, bro. Not at all. But now all of a sudden, Diddy spiked your punch and put something in you and fucking did it. This sound, I'm sorry.
Sound Mark Curry-ish.
This some bitch shit that's going on right now on the highest level.
Right.
Now let me say this again for the weirdos in the comment section that just can't get it through their ears. Fuck Diddy.
Right.
This is about truth. This is about a man that allegations are getting thrown out, and they're getting so wild and so heinous, and you just watch the temperature of people and how they react to the downfall of somebody when really no concrete evidence is out there to lean on. The social experiment that's going on with Diddy is interesting. It's funny, and people more and more get exposed every day. I'm off the mic.
And I want to kind of, speak to the next part that I want to kind of add into this, and that's even like people like your Mark Curry's out there who, made his book, did his little book about Diddy, talked a lot. We even had him on our show.
Sure did.
But the crazy part about it to me is that I can remember one time, and if you've been rocking with us, you heard us say this before, where Mark Curry had a so-called representative hit us and tell us to take all the videos down, the interviews that we did with him talking about Diddy down, because he was trying to get back in the good graces of Diddy. This was maybe a couple of years ago.
Word for word.
But he felt like he was, something was going to go on with Diddy. They're going to make a type of, reconcile type of thing.
My bad. When they're doing like a tour or something?
Might have been a tour. Okay, yeah. If you remember more than that, yeah.
It was something going on where they was about to get on the road. Make some money.
Okay, right. And he told us to take all. We took it down. We took the stuff down or whatever. Now all of a sudden you out the window, you going at him, you going to different shows and stuff, talking about Diddy. I question how much of these people are actually lying.
Facts.
I
agree.
These people keep changing their story, coming
I
up with
agree.
different stories in order to continue to feed their pocket and feed their, lust for attention. I question that. How long were you around Diddy? Were you even in the same room as Diddy for more than a couple of days? Did y'all make a song? Like, hey, come on, man. Like, now everybody know all this stuff. I question that, and I asked the people, and I think the people actually were reading comments on different publications and starting to now see through a lot of this stuff. Even question them like, yo, all right, if you seen all of this, how come you ain't come out and say nothing then? Why'd you wait all these years now to say stuff? If you did see all the stuff that you've seen. So I got to call out the bullshit.
Ooh.
I just got to call it out. I just feel like a lot of these guys are lying for attention. I just feel like that. Now, if I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. But I see how I see it.
It's also interesting that you see how rumors are kind of getting boxed into a federal case, and people want him to go to jail because he has some freaky parties.
Right, that part.
Have had sex with a lot of dudes. They want him to go to jail for that. Now, is it weird? Do we want to joke and laugh about him? Okay, yeah, we can. Be careful. 2024 is different. That's just a little more accepted than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But come on now, that's some weird shit. At the same time, is it illegal?
Right.
It may be taboo. It may not be what you're doing.
And the prosecution, what they brought up, they never had a case. They didn't.
Diddy just realized that it's over, man. He realized he may never be coming.
No, well, that's not true. We know he coming home because he gets, so I'm not even going to play that. This Andre Wide guy was good. Let me see. How long is this? This is Viral Hip Hop News. Oh, it's just spinning. Oh, come on. It's just spinning. What's wrong?
A former street soldier turned military vet is forced back into a life of crime to save his kidnapped son from certain...
A bond agreement of $50 million. They already knew that, and put up his houses, his mother's home, his son's homes. They already knew, and that he would not be around any women.
This is Andrew Wyatt.
The severity of the charges. So they were saying to the world and to the courts, we know this is going to be a multi-million dollar case that you have against us, and we're offering you $50 million.
Wow.
Hey, Therapy.
Did his attorney?
You missed my two other videos. I did the migrants.
Be able to just go in and and bond out, because he's been in front of the judge twice trying to bond out, and he's offering the world, and they're not letting him out.
Well, his attorneys, they did not prepare him properly.
Facts.
And what I mean by that, when the video came out against Cassie, with Cassie and him beating her in the hotel lobby, in the hallway of the hotel, not the lobby, when that came out, Diddy turns around and he does this apology video.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you're innocent of something, you don't admit guilt to anything. You deny, you know, and, you know, when they reach, you know, Miranda rights, one of the first things they say is that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. Well,
okay, thank you. And I'm so sleepy. I'm about to end this shortly.
Those rights in your psyche everywhere you go. I'm going to remain silent. Okay,
Facts.
we have a video. A video is damning, yes. But is there more to the video? Is there more to the story? You basically admitted guilt. I tell people it's no different when you get pulled over for a traffic ticket and then the officer say, hey, were you speeding? You know, your response respectfully, how fast was I going? Because I saw myself doing the speed limit, but how fast do you have me going? Can you show me the video how fast you have me going? Once they coerce you to admit to something, you're saying that I'm guilty of it. And
Facts.
because of him being Diddy, you got to know there are more videos out here.
Now, we recently saw a few days ago, probably right around the time he was arrested, that his PR quit, shut her email off, shut her phone off, disassociated.
I got calls yesterday from national media outlets asking if I had come on board and taken her job.
Wow.
And no, I haven't. You know, I never responded to them. I'm saying on your show for the first time, no, I have not. Several people reached out to me. I don't know what happened. Hold on. Several people reached out to me. Asking me if you were close to, after I did your show, a matter of fact.
We can't hear you.
We lost it.
Well, we lost your audio.
Hmm.
Maybe once again, drop out, come back in, and might solve the problem.
Let me move this past.
Did Diddy, because Diddy went back to New York under the assumption he knew what was happening, he went back to New York. Was that arrogance, or was that like a mishap on his attorney's part to tell him or misleading him into thinking that? Because I don't think in my mind Diddy went to New York thinking that he was going to go into prison and stay there. I think he
No, he wasn't. He thought he was going to make bond.
To turn himself in. They had already alerted his attorneys that they were going to be, you know, filing charges against him. And the indictment had went through the grand jury. So he knew that he was going to New York to turn himself in.
Right.
He thought he was going to be able to turn himself in, post a bond, and those things. What my problem with the
You right, therapy.
they should have worked
He better.
all of this out. You don't have a guy who's on the level of a Sean Combs and Diddy, who has millions of dollars, and because of who he is, and you don't work some type of agreement out on how he's going to turn himself in. I think they should have gotten with the district. They should have gotten with the prosecutor, and they should have said, "I tell you what, you guys are going to file the charges, but can we come to some type of agreement that you would not deny him bail, and you give us the number that you would be looking for?" They turned over his passport, you know, everything that he had.
I think
they looked at him as being a flight risk.
they automatically thought he was going to get bail with that bail package. That's what I think.
Is that they felt that he was going to try and flee. So that's why they picked him up unexpectedly. But I truly believe that when you look at the political landscape and what's going on in politics, and this is a federal election, okay? This is the federal government. So I think it plays hand in hand. Just let me take you back just a week ago. There was another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. What better way to get that out of the news, and opposed to giving Trump any more leverage, hey, let's try to change the trajectory of the news cycle. And it did. It took the news cycle away from the assassination, and now everybody's talking about Diddy.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it from that aspect. The federal government.
That's a good point.
The vice president, who's running for president, and the president of the United States, Joe Biden, they could have each.
Right, that's true. But one thing about it, you can't say he snitched. He ain't snitch.
And people look at this from a very small window. You have to look at all angles of why now. And that's the question, why now? And I think that's where, here's my problem with Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Will he have an opportunity to get a fair trial? No. Because he doesn't have access to his attorneys. They cut off his access. He can't talk on the phone to his attorneys because those are on recorded lines. He doesn't have the access to sit down with his attorneys and comb through evidence and help be a part of the process of his defense. They have to make an appointment. It's not like they have access to him to be with him from 8 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. Right. The windows, you only have visitation hours. They're only, at maximum you get 2 to 3 hours. So how can you have 6 counts against a Diddy? And
that's
he
true.
Doesn't have the proper
We're gonna move past this part.
Now, from your PR perspective, is there anything that Diddy can do to save himself in a situation, or is his goose cooked? Because it seems like it's. We've had many conversations with you about Dr. Cosby, R. Kelly, and every conversation I felt like there was some type of slither of hope.
It's always a slither of hope.
Yeah.
First of all, the Constitution, although not perfect, is only documented. We have to live by. You're innocent until proven guilty. And what you have to focus on, if it was me, I would be out here right now telling his story. I would be telling his story, talking about Sean Combs, not Diddy. Diddy's dead. Love is dead.
Right.
Okay, all of those aliens are dead.
Right.
Let's talk about no one ever got to see Sean Combs because Sean Combs did not want the world to meet Sean Combs. Sean Combs is a vulnerable person. Sean Combs is a person who has been led down a lot of dark paths. And then you must expose who you are.
Look, and they perjured themselves because they never hung nobody. He never hung nobody over the balcony. They lied and they perjured themselves. Therapy, they did. So
these people they're accusing him, you have to expose it. He has a right to taint the jury pool because the jury pool has already been tainted against him. It's spoiled against him. That Southern District, the moment he has his trial, their minds are already made up. Their minds, look, there was no fair trial for R. Kelly. There was no fair trial for a fair jury trial with Harvey Weinstein, with Donald Trump. You think they're going to let Diddy off? New York is notorious that Southern District is getting jurors who say, you know what? Why should I find him not guilty? He's rich, he's wealthy. I'm having trouble paying my bills. The psyche of jurors, man, when you go through this and you get to, after a trial, you get to interview those jurors and call them. And every juror that we interviewed all said the same thing. Stay away from young people on the jury. They're just trying to make a name for themselves and they do not read at all. Their minds are already made up.
And that's a fact. Young people do not read. They Google.
You got to look at old because they are part of all of this. They're central figures in this prosecution. And so them saying anything opens up a door for more charges to come, not only against him but against his family.
Now, let me ask you this.
You know what? I said I don't think they denied R. Kelly's appeal. He ain't getting out. But Diddy, we'll know if this was a humiliation ritual if Diddy get out and and blow up, because he didn't snitch on nobody. If he blow up again, this was a straight humiliation ritual.
All right, let's say he has tapes. He has recorded tapes of these alleged freak-offs involving adults. Let's say they're all adults, but there's stuff on there that people don't want to see. Homosexual behavior, maybe infidelity, whatever the case may be. None of that's illegal. It's all taboo, but it's not illegal.
Right.
Are we talking about a situation where that you feel like he's broken laws and that's why he's in it, or he has dirt on people that could potentially ruin some reputations, and this is what we're talking about here?
I don't feel like Diddy broke any laws that nobody knew about. I don't feel that way. You don't nobody gives you the key to the city. Everybody knew every law he was breaking. He told you he was a bad boy. Okay? So he never hid who he was. He never really hid his sexuality.
I agree, therapy.
When stories came about Christopher Williams saying that, he had to give him a blowjob to get a deal, Diddy never came out and said it wasn't true, because he could have been sued for defamation. He didn't try to change the messaging, okay?
Right.
So at the end of the day, what's damning is they had to silence him right now, because you could call it a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy. This Diddy probably has people in these free calls that they probably asked him to destroy the tapes. I can only imagine how many people reached out to him and said, "Hey, bro, you got me on tape." Real talk. This, like, hey.
I agree with that. Andrew White know what that's how I'm gonna end this with this one.
No to all of these people, because that's the only leverage he has.
Yeah.
If they're consenting adults, I don't feel like, me personally, and I know I will probably get attacked for this. America has put out the wrong message to say that women don't lie, because that's a lie. They have put out the wrong messaging to say that women should not be held accountable for their actions, or because you're now saying that women have the right to have a disassociation with accountability and responsibility. To me, if you're attending these parties, knowing the premise and knowing the objectives of the party, why go? Why no one can make you or Sam take drugs unless you want to take drugs. If you want to smoke a joint, you want to smoke a joint, okay? No one can force that on you. Now, it's a difference if someone held you down by force and poured liquor down you, poured it in your mouth. That's different. But how does one get to say that I willingly attended the party, I drove myself to the party, I caught an Uber to the party, I flew in for the party, but I was fearful that if I didn't do it, I wasn't going to be able to do X, Y, Z. So what? Okay, how many people get terminated from jobs today because they didn't want to pick up the trash or clean the bathroom? Right. There's no legal case being filed against some employee who said, well, that wasn't part of my job description, but they wanted me to sweep the floors. And I felt that was degrading. You had the ability to walk away, go change jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Right, facts.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that this got started when he went after Diego Wine and Spirits.
Oh, this is the good part.
Do you know who controls the liquor business? The federal government. Tobacco, alcohol.
This is the good part right here.
Okay.
They control it. Okay. You gotta let's go back. I tell everybody, when you take on these cases and when you do what I do, the only way you're gonna be successful is studying the history of anything. Yeah. I don't care what you get into, whether you have a podcast, you had to study the history of it to know if it was going to be successful and how to make it successful. Okay, so that's anything you go into. You got to go back to Prohibition, and you got to go back to Capone and how they were bootleggers. Okay, they were paying off the government because you're going across state lines bringing alcohol. Alcohol travels across state lines. It travels internationally, right? So it's controlled by the federal government. Diageo has tentacles. Okay, you want to sue us civilly? We've been paying you $60 million a year. I propose $60 million a year, and you want to sue us civilly? Our tentacles are much longer than you can ever imagine.
Come on, come on.
Okay, we brought Cassie out of Gaston. That ain't enough. You know what we're about to do now? We're about to use our tentacles and reach over into the Justice Department.
Come on. Come on.
And if he was smart, he would have done what Russell Simmons did. Sold everything. Get out of New York.
Facts. He would have did what Russell Simmons sold everything, got the fuck out of New York and went to Bali, and you ain't seen him no more, and he never coming back to the United States. Come on, now that's a true statement.
Go to Bali, be his next door neighbor, and sell all your businesses. If he was smart, you know, and I'm not saying he's not a smart guy, but sometimes society and the world builds these celebrities up. But at the end of the day, you gotta always understand, and I'm not gonna use the word on this show, I just use this word, you're always a no-grow.
Right, yes, sir.
No matter how much money you got, you still a Negro. That's a fact. And, you know, and that's what he should have did. I said that a long time ago. You should have saw it and just left and went to a country that has no extradition, that can't come and get you. But his ego was too big. He's so arrogant. But baby, if this don't humble him, because I believe that when he do get out, I don't know, therapy. I kind of think it humbled him. I don't know what you think. It should have.
Understood.
50 Cent, he said something about him. It's a 1-minute clip. I want to hear.
It's like my particular experience with Beef Centauri, it was great in the beginning. It's great for the work for them. It's not so cool when you start to own them. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was, or Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, almost like $60 million a year. So you see him go to daily on is when you see him have some issues. Like, these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case. Because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. The spirits business is not governed. You got this board that they created, right? You got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beef Centauria and Diageo. The distribution level is very hard for the get things to a point where you can do the numbers right now. They incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you sell. So if you sell Hennessy or Remy out the gate, they start to put down pressure on the new companies.
All right, that's a small clip.
Well, and that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, T is crazy.
Okay, therapy.
Same thing. It's like, you got to do the research.
And that was 50 Cent breaking down the liquor business, Diageo.
The history of how it worked. You know, look, I've been involved with several of my friends. I got a friend who has a bourbon out right now. And we got it in all the liquor stores. I got another friend who has his own rum out. I have a family member. She's an investor in a vodka company. So it's around me, and I understand how the business works. It's just when the tentacles are so long, it's when you get out of pocket.
Come on.
And Diddy got out of pocket. And when I mean he got out of pocket, they don't want to see a Negro accumulate planes and touting themselves as a billionaire. Now they have exposed where's the $1 billion. And I always say this, whether it was Mr. Cosby, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, these people are asset rich and cash poor. Mm. They have an asset.
Facts.
Assets could be $2
Facts.
billion with the assets. Right. But when charges like these come about, your assets are diminished.
Facts. Just like Jay-Z now, he trying to come up with, damn, what is whatever new business venture he trying to come up. He asset rich but cash poor. Now he begging us, the working people, to invest in it because guess what? Ain't no billionaires, ain't no millionaires want to invest in this new venture. They was like, no. Ain't no banks because he's so heavily in debt with that mansion out in California and the new one he just bought in the UK. He's so in debt, they ain't touching it. But he asking people like me and you now to invest. Wish the fuck I would.
And they purposely bring these charges because that's what happened with Mr. Cosby. Look at his artwork. He could have a painting that's worth $100 million, but when the charges came out, the painting and artwork never supposed to depreciate. It's supposed to always appreciate.
Facts.
But the paintings went down from $100 million. Some of them went down to like $10 million. Wow. We had people to come and tell us Mrs. Cosby was trying to liquidate things just to help fund, because after he was incarcerated, we lost AIG. We lost the insurance that was paying all the legal bills.
Wow.
Supplement the criminal cases. So what they did with Diddy, once he settled with Cassie, his insurance company dropped it.
Wow.
The real wealth. He only has the properties to put up. He couldn't go out and touch $50 million cash. He just put up properties. Yeah. Because and the government is smart enough. Why would we let you bond out and offer us a bond of
Facts therapy
with your real estate when right now nobody probably wants your real estate because you're in all this trouble and nobody probably wants to live in a house.
Right, because he tried to sell the mansion in California and it's still sitting up. He want $48 million. If it ain't vacant, my mama alive. Okay, it's still vacant. Don't nobody want it.
All these freak offs, next door neighbors, nobody probably wants this property. They devalue the property. They don't want that. They want the cash. And what they have done, they cut off his access, believe it or not, because the federal government has frozen his accounts. Mm-hmm. So how can he get money to defend himself? Now his attorneys, they got to hire another firm to come in and try to get those funds released so he can have the right to his counsel. No, they're going to tell him he got all these houses he offered, tell them to sell the homes. See, you have to be careful how you portray yourself to be.
Come on.
That's why you don't see.
Come on.
Prime example. Show me when you've ever seen Denzel Washington show off his homes and his lifestyle.
Come on.
Never saw it.
Come on.
Because Denzel understands who he is. Have you ever seen Will Smith show off his home and cars? No. You just see him going from helicopter to a private jet. He's not paying for that kind of stuff. People want him on the planes. They understand that Oprah. When have you ever seen Oprah play? Have you seen Tyler Perry's play? No. Because at the end of the day, as Mr. Cosby always said, hey man, I'm still a number too.
You said something a couple minutes ago that caught my attention when you were talking about how people may have called Diddy and said, hey, delete that tape. Now, we've seen that the federal authorities have taken some of his recordings, his video, phone recordings of him talking to different artists, previous artists, whoever he may have, trying to bribe him. Do they have those access to would they have access to those type of tapes of people asking him to delete things if they were out? And if they do, what are they going to do with that?
I'm pretty sure his lines were tapped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they have access to all that. They're look. It's going to be a lot of bombshells dropped during the trial. And will we get to see a
and
trial?
it wasn't.
I think the deck
It
is stacked
wasn't.
so heavy.
It wasn't. Let me go up a little bit.
Okay. Ooh, with Diddy, man. They were doing those Rock Nation brunches together, talking about black excellence.
Oh, him and Jay-Z.
The Frank Lucas American Gangster movie, when he wore that mink coat and put him on the radar. To me, that's what those Rock Nation brunches was. Like, this is the pinnacle. Like, we rich.
I remember that. I remember that therapy.
Things come tumbling down. So, what role does Jay-Z, if any, play in this, and will he be the next domino to fall?
Well, I think they're preparing. Let me go back and I always use Mr. Cosby because he was the one that it started with.
Right.
Okay, in 2014, the allegations came out around October, November of 2014. Okay, but early in the year, an article came out in the news by Gawker that related Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Woody Allen as rapists. He called me up. He was in Maine doing the show. And he said, I said, well, there's nothing to it. It's not going to go anywhere. Well, we had been on the phone with Sony Pictures for his new TV show that was coming out. And Diane Carroll was going to play his wife February 2015. But early in that year, they gave him, and you never heard of this award ever again, the Johnny Carson Award. He was the first one and last one to get it.
Yep.
Same thing with Diddy. He got VMA, Music of the Year. He comes out with the Love album. He gets the Key to the City. He gives $1 million to Howard University. He's all over the place. Well, they fattened a frog up for a snake.
Come on.
And he was the frog that they fattened up because the snake was waiting.
Come on.
All of these dead flowers, they're never going to grow again. Rock Nation is an entity that exposes so much. But Jay-Z immediately distanced himself from it.
Sure did.
It was within seconds.
He sure
Jay-Z
did.
was no longer a friend of Diddy. And look what happened to Meek Mill. Meek Mill got dropped from Jay-Z's label.
Sure did.
Mm-hmm. So Jay-Z has shown us that he's not going backward. Look, Jay-Z made a song, said God did, and talked about how he turned cocaine into champagne. But let's look. But see who came to Jay-Z's aid when he made that and did a statement on his behalf. President Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Go read President Obama's statement. President Obama said, "Hey, this is my guy."
He sure did.
What his life was and how you can change. And I'm paraphrasing Obama's statement. Obama came to Jay-Z's aid.
Facts.
See, it's all about who do you have in your political corner that's going to come to your aid. Nobody ever came to Diddy's aid because Diddy forgot how to grow up.
Come on. Come on.
You never saw Jay-Z in the club partying with young people in their 20s and 30s. Diddy never figured out how to grow up, just like R. Kelly never figured out how to grow up. And those are the people that they don't want to grow up. Look, Jay-Z, when the allegations happened, I don't think he did his big concert that he does in Philadelphia every year.
Made in America.
Made in America. I don't know if he did that when the
He
allegations
didn't.
happened. That didn't happen.
Nope.
Jay-Z just slowly resurfaced with this Super Bowl thing, and Lil Wayne is now taking the hits and he didn't get selected. He got Kendrick Lamar. It's all he had to get Kendrick Lamar. He had to. Why? Because Wayne is too connected to Trump.
Damn.
Trump gave Wayne a party, and Wayne came out and supported Trump in his presidency.
As he should. Shit, you give me a partner, you think I ain't gonna support
He had
you?
to go with Kendrick Lamar because who is singing Kendrick Lamar's song? The vice president who's running for president. They ain't like us. And Kendrick Lamar is the anthem of what being good looks like, what being wholesome looks like. Jay-Z had to tie himself to that. Wow.
I never even heard that perspective. That's crazy.
Look, Benny Siegel's on a food truck in Philly.
Yeah.
He is.
I'm just trying to put it in perspective. Line up. What is Freeway doing? They just doing that one. They playing that one song. Freeway is. Benny's on the food truck. Meek Mill is no longer on the label. Jay-Z is getting away from all of that. Dame Dash, he got to sell his company.
Yeah. Wow.
Jay-Z has gotten with a structure.
And Dame Dash just filed bankruptcy. This is good.
To say, I'm going to be around the Oprah, I'm going to be around Tyler, I'm going to be around the who's who, and Jay-Z has filtered off to be around the white people because that's where it's safe.
Facts.
That's where you're going
Facts.
your bread buttered properly. Diddy's bread is going to be buttered a different way now. Ooh.
I agree, therapy.
I'm not gonna say you're gonna be buttered, all right. But
It's gonna be buttered. I'm just saying it's gonna be buttered a different way. I'm just saying it's gonna
be buttered.
Peanut butter. Peanut butter.
I tell everybody, man. People say, "Well, look, I'm one of the consummate professionals, but I grew up in the projects, and I've seen this whole way of life." And, my job is to not tell people what they want to hear. It's the stuff you don't want to hear. That's what's going to save you.
Exactly.
And you can sit down and listen to the things that you really don't want to hear that could possibly be your detriment.
Facts.
A lot of these celebrities, you think about it with the Cosby's, I'm the only black person that has ever represented or worked for them in this capacity. No black attorneys, no black publicists. They don't because they're shoved over to whites and Jews and say, okay, these are the only people that are going to help you, ascend to that level you want to go. But you got to understand, those people keep receipts forever.
Come on.
They keep documents.
Come on.
For William Morris to have, look, Jay-Z is with William Morris. Beyonce is with William Morris. The biggest agency who owns William Morris, R. Emanuel, the brother to Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel was the chief of staff to Obama and Mayor of Chicago. Wow.
Damn. Wow.
Cosby, William Morris. He was with them for 50 years. When Cosby told Obama that he would support him when he ran for president because he settled with this woman, that he went on Larry King Live and supported a white man, Obama told him, I got a machine to protect you. Michelle Obama would call the house all the time. He's like, nah, I can't go with him. I don't want to bring no trouble to it. But no, you went on Larry King and you supported a white man for president. Look, people don't forget.
Sure don't.
And what you got to understand is that this world is all political. Anything you do, get to know the DA, get to know some judges, because it's all political, because your children are going to need it. The real fight in this case is not in the courtroom, it's in the court of public opinion. And you got to cultivate these streets. You got to cultivate these people who was once your friends.
Facts.
And try to lean on them, because now they're going to take everything away. So, look, the butter is flowing for Jay-Z. The butter just ain't flowing for Diddy right now.
Come on.
Unfortunate because
I just love Andrew White. He broke that down so good. And he worked for Bill Cosby. Anyway, we're going to end that there. I'm going to have to do a part two as usual because I'll be having so much. But I got a lot on what Andrew Wyatt said. And what he said was so true. He forgot who he was. He didn't align this. Forgot who he was dealing with. I don't know how you forget that. These some powerful people. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Please hit that like button. All right, I'm out.